So in looking at college, um, it kind of was an interesting decision-making process for myself. I had a number of friends that I would hang around. I think you know most of them actually. William, Paul, Keith, Greg, Robert. So we were all kind of figuring out where we wanted to be. And I knew that I kind of wanted to get away and grow up a little bit in terms of kind of an independent, college experience. And I thought Cal State Northridge was really close to home, but I wanted to go a little bit further out. And one of my friends, Greg, he said, there's this UC Irvine place, we should check it out. And he was really on board with it. I think he had spent some time in Newport Beach or something at one point, and he was like really pushing this college. So we all kind of took a trip down, and we kind of looked around ourselves, and we thought, oh, this is a beautiful campus. The weather seems great. It seemed like a really nice place. And certainly we wanted to go to a UC campus. I felt like my grades were good enough to go to a UC, et cetera. So, and even things like UCLA were kind of close by. I'm not sure if I would have got it. Maybe I would have got in. I can't remember now. But at some point, we as a kind of a group of friends almost really started to come to this consensus that Irvine would be a great institution. I wanted to be a political science major, and I don't know why exactly, other than I loved history, and I was into politics a little bit, and I was aware of what was going on. So with that, I started zeroing in on and saw that they have a political science department. It worked well. So with that, I started zeroing in on Irvine, and I think the clincher was actually going through Celebrate UCI, or Ways Goose at the time. So we all came down. There were like 7 of us, and we all came down to Irvine, and it was a festive environment. It was like a beautiful day. We really got to see the campus.
Aldrich Park, probably.
Aldrich Park was beautiful. And I think we just fell in love with the campus. At that point, I think we made up our minds, and I made up my mind that Irvine was the one. And even my dad was not too happy about it at the time, because he just wanted me closer. I had that pull to keep the family closer. But I felt like it was an hour away, just enough so I could get away and have this independent experience, but also be close enough to come back on weekends.
And bring your laundry home.
Bring my laundry home, yes, I would do that.
Which I remember.
Was one of those. So at that point, after Celebrate UCI, I made the decision to go to UC Irvine. And so when I came to UCI, I went through SPOP orientation.
What's SPOP?
Student Parent Orientation Program. And that was really the first time where UCI started to come to life for me, because I was actually meeting students, and they were taking an interest in me and who I was. And I share that with students even today, that experience of kind of feeling connected. And then the other thing that was really great was, I lived in Mesa Court housing my first year, and just moving in and just meeting all these people and having.
You were in Cielo, right?
Cielo.
Cielo Hall. Right?
Yeah, Cielo Hall in Mesa Court, and having my RA, Sonny, was a great mentor to me, and just really opening up my eyes to a lot of different topics and having conversations, and really, that first year at UCI was an amazing experience. My roommate was actually my high school classmate, William, who's a friend of ours, and is still here involved in the Alumni Association. And so we were pretty close, but then, we just had so many other friends and so many other interactions. And then school, I was taking classes with some great professors, and professors that would later become my kind of mentors in terms of my academics. Professor Danzinger taught my poli-sci general class, Dr. Schoenfeld, Mark Petrarca, and so they were all my professors in the 6th series, which is like the introductory political science series. And then, so I would come home, and I think I would just share what a great experience I was having, and
What kinds of activities or things that you did during your time at UCI shaped your experience, or what do you remember fondly in terms of activities?
Well, I had to work at the time, because I had to pay that heavy tuition. I think at the time was $300 a quarter or $400 a quarter.
Don't tell the current students that.
No, I do actually, because I say, well, that's partly why, as adults, we really got a great bargain when it came to a public education of the highest caliber. And so we should always feel like we should be giving back of our time. It doesn't have to always be money, but just giving back to the institution, because we took away so many more things from UCI, at least I did, and that I feel very appreciative of the fact that it was so reasonably priced. But at the time, even still, paying for housing and those kinds of things, I had to work. So I was on, I had to work at the bookstore. And that was a great experience too, because I was being mentored by these student leaders who were like, I was cashier, they were lead cashiers, and they were mentoring me. And so, it was, then I started getting more involved too, I think, there was a point where I started meeting people that were good student leaders, and I felt like I wanted to try and push myself. So I later became an RA, or I joined a fraternity, a new one on the campus. I did UCDC for a summer, and so I worked throughout.
I was going to say RA meaning resident advisor, not
yes,
research assistant.
Not research assistant.
Professors, RA means research assistant. But in
Thank you,
context,
Dr. Talesh. I appreciate that.